Yeah.
The Pioneer Cup and winning that and being really the first winners of the first proper big tournament that we've seen, and that's really made a big mark. Today both teams have come in perfect 5-0, and I am just looking forward to seeing. I mean, these are two teams we could see in the finals tomorrow, and yet we are lucky enough to get a matchup with them today, round 6 of this Swiss bracket.
I mean, with what we've been seeing today, Palador, as we see the replays here, the skill level is good. It's high. You know, it is not easy to go undefeated this afternoon. And I got to wonder, who do you feel is going to come out on top today for this series as we really, again, watch both of them play?
Well, I'm not sure. Based on, I mean, it's hard to say anything with definitiveness besides the fact that it'll be competitive. What I do expect is for Cold to come in here with a lot to prove, in a sense. You know, kind of, again, a rematch of what we saw in the Pioneer Cups and the underdog upset there coming in from Ivy. So I do expect there'll be a little bit of a, you know, again, a point to prove. Like, yes, it's only day one. Yes, this isn't the finals yet, but this could very, very well and likely be a preview of the finals once again. And so, you know, I think, again, they were a little bit upset. Cold was the last time around. They were kind of expected from a lot of people, including themselves, no doubt, to take it away, and it didn't quite go in their favor. It was a great match, but again, they were kind of shell-shocked a little bit. So I'm very interested in just seeing how the opening even 1 or 2 minutes go, honestly, on Cold side.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting, Fintor. We're going to get that sort of standoffish 2 minutes scoreless, 3 minutes scoreless, you know, with these two teams coming at each other, or maybe even a little bit more casual. Maybe they don't want to give away their strategies for the day. You know what I mean? I'm curious.
Hey, well, I can tell you both of these teams can be incredibly volatile in their score lines. When they faced off in that finals, we saw Cold take things strong at the start. They had a 6-2 in that very first round, and then 1-0. And then Ivy just turned things around with a consistent, you know, about 3 points every game until the end of the game, until they took that victory and were crowned the winners of the Pioneer Cup. And both teams can be so incredibly volatile in their mental game, in their teamwork, that, you know, it's so hard to say coming into something like this who's going to come out, who's coming into this looking like the stronger team.
I am excited for the series as players start to funnel in to lobby. It does look like Ivy will be starting on the orange side and Cold will be on the blue if everything works out that way. It does also mean that Cold will be in red and Ivy will be in blue, so don't get that confused. I guess orange and black maybe, because it's the more appropriate color, because it's not really blue, it's definitely black.
This stream's sponsored by Skittles. Not really, but that's what I feel like when we start mentioning all the different colors. Tasting the rainbow Nightfire.
Seriously.
And now I'm hungry again.
Yeah, I know. Give me a snack. I need a Twix. Break me off a piece of a Kit Kat bar or something. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, we are just a few moments away from this series, and so it's a good time to shout out everyone that is tuning in, because there's been a lot of folks that have hung out for what has been, now at this point, stream's been live for 4.5 hours of VR, esports, Orion Drift content. I also want to give a quick hats off to our moderation team. They have somehow managed to get us to this point, where we're at the final round of today. We've played through an entire Swiss bracket with over 64 teams participating. It is the biggest tournament we've held in OD yet, and then NA starts in 2 hours from this, and it's over 200 teams registered. So we're just going to keep breaking records basically today in terms of like the biggest OD tournaments, the biggest maybe even VR esports tournaments. I don't know if there's been one that we've hosted or that anyone's been to that's had this many people sign up and this many teams participate. So it's pretty dang awesome to see this OD community come out, and I just want to give a big shout out to everyone, like I said, that has been stopping by. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. We've been seeing that number shoot up with a bunch of new folks tuning in, and hit that like button, the thumbs up button. It helps get the channel out to more people. So again, we appreciate all of that support.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a small thing to do. Ultimately, I know people maybe get tired of it at times. Always smash the like button, subscribe. But you know what? It does matter. And here in VRML, again, we're all community born here. We're coming out of these games that we're moderating for, casting for. We're literally from these games. We're not from some outside organization who's never done VR or played these. Like, this is our games. So again, you come in here to support, to chat, or even just lurk. It all matters. It means a lot. So thank you guys, as we do get started here pretty soon on this exciting rematch up, that is.
Yeah, seriously, we're gonna cut to the lobby floor as we wait for these squads to ready up. Yeah, we are just maybe a player or two away from jumping into the lobby. There's Pug popping
Captain,
in.
Of course.
And yeah, they might need that. They might need Pesky on board there as well. And so, yeah, either way, we are just, again, a few moments away from getting into the action. So we appreciate the patience. Pug maybe not jumping in, as I do see them float away. Maybe get a
while we
question or
wait,
something like that. But yeah,
it's worth mentioning, what we saw in the previous tournament, because coming out of day one, it was Cold who'd gone perfect. They played Ivy in the very last round that we saw, and they took that victory quite confidently, 3-0. And they couldn't replicate it the day following into the best of 7. And so obviously this isn't the end of the tournament. Even if both of these teams make it to finals, this is not the final prophecy of who is going to win, right? Because we saw Ivy, maybe learn from what they'd seen from Cold the day before, adapt, or come in with maybe just stronger mental, or maybe something went wrong on the Cold side, overconfidence, something like that. But everything can change. And while this is going to be an exciting matchup, everything is to play for tomorrow. And these are the teams that we are going to see, in that top 8.
Yeah, a little cash prize on the line is definitely going to be an interesting incentive to see these teams compete for, and we're definitely looking forward to this series unfolding here shortly. But as we do wait for teams to ready up, we should be into this round 1 pretty dang soon. And again,
everyone's
both
in.
teams, if you are just tuning in, both of these squads undefeated so far in this Swiss bracket. They have won all 5 of their games and are now ready to dive in, I believe, to their last one of the day. A reminder, this is the last one for us as well on the channel for EU, but it's not the end. We have NA in about 1 hour and 30 minutes from now, and we can't really think about that because we're diving in to round number 1 in this best of 5 between 2 undefeated squads.
All right, buckle in, everyone. Here we go. Thanks in the YouTube chat. Everyone joining in, hyping. I see you. We're reading your comments. We love the love for these teams, and we love the love of that first goal. Wow, quickly.
And it seemed like Cold was right back on the defense. They had a great setup going. All 3 of them were back sitting in goal, and Ivy, Xenos, I believe it was, with a well-placed shot, finds that first goal, and Ivy, that's a confident way to start off. 10 seconds into that game.
Yeah, it didn't take too long. Cross up to the midfield again. Pug is there, is tackled out, but at least pushes the ball away from the front of their zone. Xenos really quickly scoops it up and fires it in for another goal. It's a quick 2-point lead.
From Xenos again. He is scoring on Cold, one of the teams that is considered widely one of, if not the best in the scene. Ivy, the champions, coming in 2 goals back-to-back before the first minute is even gone.
Yeah, wild start here for sure, and a statement start for Ivy, wanting to show that they are here at the top and they want to be here to stay. But Cold, they did not want to doubt them whatsoever. I mean, we've seen what they can do in the Pioneer Cup, and even today in the stream as the first goal will go down the opposite way. So there it is, Mr. Venom doing the duty.
And it looks like Ivy left that nearly open, which is not something we've seen much from this team. They have been pretty consistent in their positioning, always ready for a long shot or a breakaway run, but no, not this time. Cole, first on the board for them, 1 point difference. This is looking to be a high scoring, but close game.
Look at Pesky trying to use the momentum of themselves flying around the entire arena to get some speed for an attack, but they couldn't quite get the setup fully through. They were interrupted by the likes of this defense that's now setting up for the attack. There's a wonderful 360 wall carve, comes in from Matt. The Platts comes in, the goalie knockout comes in, but the goal, the shot on it goes a little bit wide.
Spectacular defense from Gublin there. Was basically playing defense against 2 players and did so with success. So Gublin enabling now maybe a drive up the floor, although Matt Scoting will just intercept it off a wayward lob. Likewise, though, Pesky is there to maybe take it right back for their team. As they drop the ball right below the bridge, so ball is anyone's game at the moment. A quick dribble, Thomas in the pass to Zeno, but cut off by Zeno rather. Dangerously close to that goal, open and now shut out, slapped into the side.
Pesky trying to get control of it from Tomas in the corner there as they do end up pushing forward here. That's maybe a shot on goal. I think Pug is home on the back line, so they will scoop it up and feather it over to the corner, but it's quickly intercepted by Xenos. What a wonderful wall carve to dodge out the intercept there from the defense. The shot on goal, but Pug slaps it away.
My goodness, all these highlights and a half just stopped the last second that time by the defense after the beautiful ceiling carve to split the defense. Deep into the goal, no one's there! And it goes right on down for the 3-1 lead. Ivy.
Felt like that ball was just living up on the ceiling, getting carved around in circles that entire time, waiting for the goal, but eventually Cole just makes the mistake, leaves their goal just a bit too exposed, and Ivy find a third on the board, 2 points lead, 1 minute 50 left on the clock.
This is a wonderful opening round here to this best-of-5 series between these two undefeated teams in our last round of this Swiss bracket. As a cross pass to Venom comes through and goes a little bit wide, Pesky slaps it away.
Oh, the right idea, but indeed could not finish on it as Wee Laddie now drives up the floor, sends a lob. Matt Sconing is in the area defending, but Gublin is there right above. Gublin tries to send it down, but no one quite there to recover. Pug now will take over the ball, carrying it over to the Halo, but just loses the juice. No boost. Will be forced now to send it right back to Thomas, but definitely some frantic play there as they ran out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything that you need to when you're playing this game against a highly competitive team. A wonderful cross pass down and a swat away from Wee Laddie. The follow-up is hard, though, and they can't deny that one. Cold chip away at the 2-point lead.
And it's Matt Koning, the newest addition to the team, where they really, it was a rebound. It seemed like it was over when Thomas couldn't quite find that goal, but flying out of nowhere, Matt, high speed, well placed. 1 point difference. There is so much potential for Cold to still take this first round.
Down into this last minute or so, of this finals rematch from our Pioneer Cup will be another goal being earned there, Pioneering themselves into control as Ivy are returning champions here. Only 26 seconds left and a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, they're in good shape, but Tomas is close here, swats it away, almost has an opportunity for a shot on goal, and the clock is just going to tick down. Wee Laddie may very well put a second, third, fourth point on the board for the lead, and what a great cross pass to Gublin. This Ivy squad coming alive in these final moments, and we talk about momentum, Finto, and as this round ends, I gotta wonder if it's cleanly into the hands of Ivy or if those 2 points for Cold are enough.
I mean, yeah, momentum, a big part that plays massively into that mental game. And I think if Cold can't handle themselves properly here going into this next one, if they can't latch onto that, realize that they just can't get upset about that, just need to get their heads down, need to start scoring and keep playing consistently, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. But if they let it affect them, if they struggle with that momentum, that's when the problems start to happen. Because, there is no mechanic momentum. It's not built into the game. It's in the players' heads, and if they keep it there and let it eat away at them, then it causes problems. But if you don't let it do that, then it doesn't have to matter to you. It doesn't have to impact.
We'll have to see what we get here as round number 2 begins to unfold in front of our eyes. These two undefeated teams, now maybe Cold defeated after a round loss. We get into round 2, and we'll see who's going to come out early on top, if there's going to be an early point, or if we're going to have that 2-minute, 3-minute stall out again, Palador.
Yeah, well, we shall see. Will be a quick goal. Oh, there we go. Question answered right quick.
And that was just amazing to watch. A beautiful pass off, and the goal was a bounce off the floor. Something that I've been seeing a lot more this tournament, but it seems to be working, and it is just beautiful to watch.
That's a good way for Cole to get into the lead, and you love to see the teamwork coming in there. We were on board the perspective of the goalie as they got tackled as the ball was being shot. Really good teamwork and coordination that enabled that kind of play to come in, and that's the beauty of being able to sync up like this as a top-tier team. You know, you can put together some nice 1-2 punches like that. As Wee Laddie has been a really hard goalie to get through for this team, and they're going to maybe even go for a goal here. A scramble up to the center, and the shot goes wide.
Gotta love the effort there. Wee Laddie just looking like a race car there, zipping across the arena. Now a goal, a little bit exposed. The defender's now getting back into position as Pesky will overtake. Pesky eyeing down the potential pass to Zeno. Zeno from up high. Zeno has some options, will be tackled, thrown out of there by Thomas, and now Wee Laddie trying to return the tackle back and gain control of the ball. They do for just a moment. Pesky now from above that nest. There's a cutter. Zeno might have the options, but looking for, too tight of an angle and couldn't complete.
Just a little bit wide on the pass. We're going to go back to the ceiling. Gublin going to set up for the attack, but they're going to have to get Matt Sconning, who is nicely waiting on that top side. They're going to swat it away from Xenos on the intercept, but Pesky keeps the follow-up and then rotates back for an intercept. Tomas has an opportunity to push forward, but is quickly tackled by multiple defenders there. Wee Laddie scoops the ball up, passes it to Gublin, and the offensive pressure continues for a goal.
And that's Wee Laddie once again. That tackling, that teamwork doesn't just have to be in passes. The tackle onto the goalie there from Wee Laddie sent Pug flying. He's been a good goalie, Pug, but if he's not in goal, if he's been sent away, then there's not much he can do to stop Ivy from evening out the score with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Tomas trying to come out of the sewers there for an opportunity on the goal. It gets instantly shut down by Pesky, and it's just been hard for Cold to really set up something, it feels like. And as I say that, Mr. Venom comes in for a shot, and it dings off the side corner. So close.
Close indeed. Now Gublin trying to close the distance. The defensive Pug right over him and into the goal. Efficient move there, just dodging one defender. And almost a casual shot. Not a lot of strength behind it, but just enough precision and kind of a little bit of spin in the ball almost.
Go into round number 2, and with 2.5 minutes left, feels good for IV, I'm sure, right now. They can just tick down this clock and end up with taking us to series point. They could remain undefeated. That's what's at stake this afternoon. As Pug tosses it to Tomas in a wonderful follow-up. That's the chip away we love to see. The 1-2 pass sequence from Cold.
And I don't know about your perspective, but to me it looked like Thomas had maybe lost the ball or was rotating it away to reset, pass off to a teammate, but that was a beautiful, unexpected, quick, snappy shot that is a great one to even up this game.
Now Pesky gonna take...
Oh!
What did I just see? The midfield behind the back shot comes in, and another replay for the books. That one is sick.
I don't know if he faked the ceiling carve or just missed it, but the quick thinking there to slap that behind the back, high speed, and the precision on that shot was just something else. That is, not something you see in any random Orion Drift game. Only in this server, only in this game, and maybe again, not right now.
1-point game here with just a minute left, Knight. Close game indeed. Both we expected it. These are the finalist teams from our last cup, and they are showing up just the same way they did before. But right now, it's up to Cold to keep this series even. They need to score here soon.
That was almost a self-goal on the defense there as they tried to swat it back for a clear, and nobody was home. Xenos is going to fly down through the sewers, fly up to the top line, look for the ceiling carve, and the shot on goal down. It's no good. Intercepted by Matt Sconning.
But return on the interception, Wee Laddie, a few crafty moves now. Mats will overtake it, though. Important possession here coming up as the time continues to tick. 1-point advantage going the opposite way. Cold here trying to even up this series. And a big goal attempt. It was there. The goal was there. It was open, but couldn't convert on it. And that might hurt them here as there's only 16 seconds remaining.
It's actually pretty valuable they have Pug sitting on this back line because he gets the quick clear. I think he's down a hand is what it looks like, and he can't get the pass to Mr. Venoms, and Xenos is going to bury the hatchet. It's Ivy taking round number 2 and pushing up 2-0 in this best-of-3 series.
That's a rough situation for the Cold captain who has a dead controller by the looks of it. Or no, maybe not dead, maybe just disconnected.
Yeah, it looks back now. I think maybe it did a battery reset on there, so it might have been one of those cases where you knocked something so hard that it disconnected your controller or something. But had to take the time out to be able to actually fix that, adjust it. Tough.
And a rough situation there for the Cold captain. They are 1 point away from losing this game. And, you know, still, even if, though, you know, it's worth saying, even if Ivy do take this with all 3 points, you have to consider, so did Cold on day 1 of the Pioneer Cup, okay? And you know, that obviously didn't work out for them going into day 2.
You know, there's this phrase that's kind of said a lot in these big cups that we've had, at least back at Echo, where people say, oh, there's the VRML script, because you get these better than scripted moments where you just can't imagine it turns out that way, and you know, it writes itself sometimes. So we could be seeing that kind of, you know, return here, you know, 2 cups in a row. I would not be surprised based on prior history in this league.
Vying for control in the midfield as we do into our third round, and already IV say this is gonna be the last one. A 1-point lead out the gate, Finto.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And that's what they want here. They want to close this out confidently. They want to show off to everyone watching, and honestly to Colt, who could be their opponents tomorrow, that yeah, we're here. We are the best. We are ready to defend our title and take another cup.
That was an unfortunate sequence there. Tomaz getting momentum and speed to pass to their teammate, who then misses the too fast of a pass because of the momentum and speed. It's now in the possession of IV, but not for long, as Tomaz with a great intercept keeps things working here for Cold. But look at Xenos flying around, getting that momentum we're talking about. A little bit of a dribble as they work their way forward here. A cross pass that's swatted away.
The defense here reading that very well. They've gone to that well a couple of times, that cross pass from that bridge area left to right, and now it's going to be, almost a score there, but just very well read, you know, obviously studying the defense and not being too excited about overextending their defense, just hanging out in the positions where that ball is most likely to go and being content with, you know, you want to force your opponents to shoot from farther out, so just, you know, close off that close proximity to goal, and, you know, that philosophy so far working out.
A little bit of a nice back clear here, but you're seeing a bit of a, it definitely is, pal. You're seeing a bit of a passive team here on the Cold side. They really don't want to overextend, recognizing that IV has found some opportune goals on their back line when they've been a little bit lacking, when they've had one or none to fend off those open goals. And so it seems that they're just being a little bit more cautious before they do fully commit to the push-up. And as I say that, it looks like maybe they're going to fully commit to this push-up. Pug passes up to Matt Sconning. Matt Sconning crosses over to Mr. Venoms. Mr. Venoms tosses to the top of the line to Tomas, who's home, as they swat it down. The follow-up, it's not there, and they swat it away. Wee Laddie again with some beautiful goalie work.
And Zeno now dribbling it up the floor, building up that speed, that momentum, handing it off to Pesky. Pesky redirects from the sky, trying to evade one defender, and won't get past that second. Mr. Venom in the goal, stung him hard, but they will be right back into the offense for a moment. Now Mr. Venom diving out of the goal, getting possession of that ball. That goal is open and exposed. The deal not closed. A heartbreaker, heart-wrenching, as it'll be sent back towards the bridge on another offensive attempt.
Matt Skoning's right here.
Oh, wow.
They'll find it. They'll finish it off. Cold have tied this up. It's 1-1 in round 3.
And Matt Sconing didn't want the easy way out there. He didn't want the free open goal. Looks like he wanted to get one. On his own up against the ready defense there. And he finds it. That is the scoreboard evened up, and Cold, just like that, are back in this game. Back fighting for their chance to go perfect on day 1.
And Gublin, the
Beautiful
perfect redirect there.
Gublin. Yeah.
Carving around, and it will be taken by in the sewers by Pug. Pug, though, being blindsided with a big tackle coming in as Zito now tries to work away. Matt Sconing not far behind, trying to close off those lanes.
A nice cross pass that gets shut down by Mr. Venom. They're going to get things going for their team. An offensive push coming in from Cold here as they get into the zone of IV. Wee Laddie fends it off.
Wow.
What a beautiful save.
He is a beast inside that goal. Now the beast releases it into that other side of the floor, making a beeline for a potential goal, but Pug and Co actually get there with a little bit of time and they're able to hit that to the opposite side. So these players now just taking their positions, the time winding down to the last minute, all tied up here. Cole trying their best to force a 4th round.
Got a lot of 4 rounds here, and it looks like Ivy saying no. Pug fends
no.
off the first shot, but Pesky follows it up, Finto, and now the lead back into Ivy's hands with 45 seconds.
That is one of those upsetting moments in defense, you know, when you think you got it saved, when you just stop it, you stop the full momentum of the ball there, but it just sat, it bounced around off the top, off the bottom, and eventually wriggled its way into the goal, and that is a heartbreaking goal for Cold fans, as 30 seconds left on the clock, it seems difficult now for Cold to find the one goal that could make things even and force that overtime. But Thomas, he's going for it. He shoots it down, and it's not quite to happen.
Especially not over the likes of Wee Laddie, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that said, the time winding down indeed. 7 seconds left, and unless something changes quickly, which they just might, they need to keep this ball alive if they can, Knight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here because it's going to go into their goal, which will mean the end of round 3, the end of the series, and the end of Cold's undefeated streak. IV take a quick 3-0 series here, and they're looking good today, Finto. This IV squad is going to be a tough team to beat tomorrow.
Yeah. Coming in today, you could tell if there's any team that's been putting in the work over this month, that's been learning, making strategies, practicing, it is this one. They, as a squad, are insane to watch. I mean, just looking at some of these replays, one part that comes to mind was that behind-the-back shot from Xenos. That was just insane. I don't even know what we were watching there. But it's like, and he did it with like no effort. Is how you watch that happen. Like it was just, your random everyday game, your random everyday goal. And this is what these players are doing as standard, and it's just amazing to watch. And for Ivy fans, so confident in juicing.
Yeah, it is looking so good for Ivy fans right now. And, I mean, it looked great for us, Pelador. Like Finto said, that was a great Swiss bracket to tune into, and we're done. That's the last round to be played today for EU, so we get a little bit of a break, but I want to get your thoughts before we sign off.
Again, my thoughts are I'm excited for day 2 just to see if that classic VRML script continues, because at least as of now, the table is set for a reverse of what we saw last time. Of course, it would be up to Cold to come back. I just kind of harken back to the end of the Pioneer Cup. Can't remember who it was who said it, but it was in the Discord chats on the VRML Discord. One of the members of Cold kind of saying that, the other team, they played really well, and, we kind of let our foot off the gas, and we didn't really know how to respond to it. This is just going to make us come back and work harder and get back into it. And, I really liked hearing those words. It was the right attitude to have, but obviously, not the results they wanted in day 1 for that Cold team. So I'm just curious to see now how they respond, because it's not over yet. They have a big chance to do something special tomorrow. Meanwhile, Ivy, of course, well, they've done something special, and it's like I said earlier, one thing to get to the top, then they deserved it. Another thing to stay there, and they're going to be put to the test for sure in 24 hours.
Yep, not too long from now. And again, NA starting in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we are going to wrap up the EU Ignition Cup Swiss bracket with what was a great series. A shout out to everyone tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the stream, tune in 1 hour and 15 minutes for North America, because that is going to be incredibly hype. We've got 4 best of 5s to tune into, but probably a mix and match of a bunch of different games like we did this afternoon.
How many teams, Knight? How many teams is in NA?
Over 200 teams registering for North America. We had to split it up into 2 weekends. We literally couldn't play enough rounds in a Swiss bracket to get top teams so that we could have it be tomorrow. So it's had to be split up into 2 weekends. We've got the Swiss bracket that spans today and tomorrow, and then the finals, the tournament, the single elimination bracket on Saturday. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. More North American Orion drip from us, for next weekend. So hey, it's good news. Good news. But it is coming up. So do be sure to catch that. But we are going to be signing off. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's. My co-casters Finto and Palador. We'll see you all in just a few minutes for North America, 1 hour and 15. Don't go anywhere. Or take a break. Get a sandwich. It's okay.
I will.
Orion Drift VRML is brought to you by Another Axiom, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.